Let's head to North Canterbury now, where some farmers suffered such bad land damage in last November's earthquake they can no longer graze stock in some places. Now options for the land's future use include tourism, native planting and beekeeping are all possibilities a community-led working group is waiting on government funding to explore. But nearly 1 year on from the quake, the Huranui District Mayor, Winton Daly, says it's the kind of work they had already hoped to have got underway by now. Maya Burry reports.
You're on. Bonnie, good girl.
Sheep and beef farmer Henry Pinkney owns 1,400 hectares of land along the inland road in the Huranui district, made up largely of hill country and bush. When the November earthquake struck, Mr Pinkney's farm was badly affected. It caused slipping and cracking through paddocks and hill faces, and damage to fences and water lines. Mr Pinkney says he also lost sheep down cracks made by the quake.
Just about exactly where we were standing, you could smell the decaying stock after about 3 days, so that was not so nice. And yeah, it was really hard to quantify things because there was damage just about to every paddock on this side of the farm. You can see another split running up through the hill there. It was endless.
Winding its way through the farm is the Mason River, and as Mr Pinkney points out on a drive around the property, several fault lines. Mr Pinkney says in order to let his land properly recover, so loose debris and sediment doesn't slip into the river, he has stopped grazing stock in some areas and is doing planting work to restabilise the ground.
It is significant. There's been a big change. It's going to affect the way we farm into the future, and yes, and we're not alone. There's a number of farms affected like this.
Just down the road is sheep and beef farmer Grant Barbara. He says quake damage to his property means he is also going to have to make some changes.
We've lost the odd cattle beast just literally getting wedged in cracks and stuff. So, I think there's probably some pretty good cases to be looked at in terms of, whether it's in forestry or whether it's just some pole plantings with poplars and that just help stabilise. Do we let some of the manuka come back that we've got and look at doing something with bees?
In May, the Ministry for Primary Industries announced a $5 million fund to help farmers and growers who have quake-damaged land look at their options. $4 million from the initiative was set aside for community-led projects. The Huranui Mayor, Winton Daly, says a group including farmers, local council and industry representatives applied for funding to carry out recovery research in the Kaikoura, Marlborough and Huranui districts. But Mr Daly says nearly 1 year on from the quake, they are still negotiating a contract with MPI and haven't started the work.
So there's geotech work to do, there's economic analysis to do to understand the viability of whatever alternative that people see as a good option for them. So that work, none of that work started. We don't even have a contract with the ministry for that funding, and so it's still going to be some time before anything actually happens that can assist the farmers. That's the frustration.
An MPI spokesperson, Justine Gilliland, says it aimed to have all contracts for community-led projects awarded by September 1st. But she says that was an ambitious target, and they now expect to start signing contracts this week, allowing some groups to begin work.
The focus that we have here is very much about long-term recovery. MPI provided relief in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake through some other mechanisms, and this fund was designed about looking to the long term.
Ms Gilliland says a fund to help individual farmers get up to $5,000 worth of professional advice on damage to their properties is already open, and she encourages them to make use of the service. For Checkpoint, Maya Burry.